Hello class, and thank you for tuning in. This is our last discussion board. I'm going to be answering the question. Alcott writes, to live for one's principle at all costs is a dangerous speculation, and failure of an ideal, no matter how humane or noble, is harder for the world to forgive and forget than a bank robbery and a grand swindle of corrupt politicians. Has there ever been a time in your life when you lived for your principles? How did that turn out compared to the experience of the Utopians at the Fruitlands farm? Well, there have been many occasions in which my principles have been challenged. I find great truth in Alcott's belief that living for your principles is a dangerous speculation. There are extreme consequences that are formed when fighting for your principles and extreme consequences for letting your principles go. Compromising self, according to Alcott, is harder to forgive and forget than a bank robbery or a grand swindle of corrupt politicians. Why? Well, simply because people who don't have standards aren't really held to the bar that they set, whereas people who do have standards are always going to be given a magnifying glass. So therefore, if they do go back and revert on or contradict some of the things that they do, people will never look at their credibility the same as before, because that's the image that they formed. Without principles, one would not know what truly defines their characteristics. Such principles tie into morals, which translates into ethics. According to Oxford Dictionary, ethics is moral principles or a system of these. The Utopians of Fruitland had a very defiant and concrete principle, but they had to realize when winter came, such principles had to be altered. As we grow older, some of the principles that we have will serve a purpose for us while others will not. As an ever-growing mechanism, we understand that adapting to principles is more of a worldly circumstance and most times a necessity for our survival. So, thank you all for listening and have a beautiful night.